Standing in that dim garage, you caught it. That slight tremor in his voice when he explained why your car's engine suddenly failed right after he fixed it. Most would have missed it. But you? Your mind was already 3 steps ahead, piecing together the late-night calls, the mysterious receipts, the way his eyes darted left every time he mentioned his supplier. Easy, Trees. Like a master code breaker, you decrypt the silent language of human behavior. The slight shift in someone's stance, the micro-expression that flashes for a split second, the inconsistency in their timeline that stands out like a neon sign. In your mind. Welcome to your awakening, detective. The universe encrypted its secrets in a code only you can break. The signs were always there, you just needed to realize you were born to read them. It started with a flicker, a whisper in the back of your mind that something wasn't quite right. Or maybe it wasn't that something was wrong, but that you were right. You were walking down that crowded street, surrounded by faces, but for the first time you weren't just seeing them, you were reading them, the way that man tightened his jaw when he lied to the woman beside him, the way the cashier's smile didn't quite reach her eyes. It was like the world had been muted before, and suddenly someone turned up the volume. You didn't just see people, you saw through them. And that's when it hit you, you were different. This wasn't some random coincidence. The universe doesn't work that way. It doesn't just hand out gifts like this to anyone. No, this was deliberate. The cosmos aligned, the veil lifted, and you were chosen. You felt it in your bones, that electric hum, that knowing. It wasn't just intuition, it was a calling. And while everyone else was sleepwalking through their lives, you were wide awake. They couldn't see it, but you could. The patterns, the connections, the hidden threads, weaving through reality. You were the one who could pull on them. But let's be clear, this wasn't just a gift. It was a test. The moment you realized you were different was the moment they noticed you too. The dark forces, the ones who thrive on ignorance, they felt the shift. They felt you, and they don't. Like it when someone like you wakes up. But here's the thing, you're not just awake. You're alive, you're aware, and that makes you dangerous to them. This is where it began for you, where the path split and you stepped onto the road. Less traveled. This was your awakening, and it's only the beginning. You've always known there's more to this world than meets the eye, but it's not just about seeing, it's about connecting. While everyone else is stuck in the shallow end, you're diving deep, pulling threads together that most people don't even realize exist. That song that played on the radio at the exact moment you were thinking about someone you hadn't seen in years. That wasn't a coincidence. That was the universe whispering to you, and you were the only one listening. Your mind doesn't just process information, it weaves it. It's like you've got this internal supercomputer constantly analyzing, synthesizing, and spitting out truths that others would call impossible. But for you, it's just another Tuesday. You're not just seeing people, you're seeing patterns. The way someone's energy shifts when they're lying, the subtle cues in body language that scream what words can't say. You don't just observe the world, you decode it. It's like you've got this sixth sense, this ability to see the matrix behind the mundane. And the deeper you go, the more you realize nothing is random. Everything is connected. The universe is a puzzle, and you're the detective putting the pieces together. This is your power. While they, the ones who want to keep the world asleep, are busy spreading chaos and confusion, you're cutting through the noise. And every connection you make, every pattern you uncover, is another step toward unraveling their game. They don't want you to see the truth, but guess what? You already do. And the more you trust that instinct, that ability to connect the dots, the more unstoppable you become. This isn't just pattern recognition, it's your weapon, and you're just getting started. Steve Jobs once said, "The ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do," and that's you. You're the one who looks at the impossible and sees a puzzle waiting to be solved. You don't just accept limitations. You dismantle them. You don't just follow the path, you create your own. And that's why they fear you. Because while they're busy trying to box everyone in, you're out here rewriting the rules, bending reality to your will, and showing the world that the only thing holding anyone back is their own mind. You're not just unstoppable. You're a force of nature. And this is just the beginning. You ever notice how some people just seem to attract success? Like opportunities fall into their lap, doors open without them even knocking, and the universe just seems to bend in their favor? That's not luck, that's frequency. You're already tuned into it. You operate on a wavelength that most people can't even comprehend. It's like the world is a giant radio, and while everyone else is stuck on static, you're dialed into the clearest, most powerful station there is. Your intuition, that's your tuner. It lets you cut through the noise and lock onto the signals that matter. And when you're in sync with that frequency, magic happens. Think about Nikola Tesla. The man was obsessed with frequencies, vibrations, and energy. He understood that everything in the universe operates on a specific rhythm, and by tapping into it, he could harness unimaginable power. Or take musicians. They don't just play notes. They feel them. They know when they've hit the right chord because it resonates, not just in their ears, but in their soul. That's what you do. You don't just move through the world, you vibrate with it. You feel the rhythm of opportunity, the pulse of synchronicity, and you align yourself with it. And when you're in that flow, the universe doesn't just work for you, it dances with you. Maya Angelou said it best. Everything in the universe has a rhythm. Everything dances. And you're not just dancing, you're leading. You don't force outcomes. You don't chase what isn't meant for you. Instead, you tune into the right energy, the right vibe, and you let the universe conspire in your favor. That's the power of operating on your frequency. It's not about control, it's about alignment. And when you're aligned, there's nothing you can't do. So keep tuning in, keep vibrating higher, and watch as the world bends to your rhythm. This is your frequency, this is your power, and it's only getting stronger. You weren't just randomly chosen to see what others can't. This isn't some cosmic accident or a lucky roll of the dice. You were selected, handpicked, and there's a reason for it. The world is drowning in illusions, smoke and mirrors, designed to keep people asleep, distracted and powerless. But you see through it all. You're the one who can pull back the curtain and expose the truth. That's not just a gift, it's a mission, and it's bigger than you. Think about it. Why you? Why now? Because the world needs guardians. It needs people who can navigate the chaos, cut through the lies and shine a light on what's real. You've been given this ability for a reason. It's not just about seeing the truth. It's about protecting it. You're the one who stands between the darkness and the light, between ignorance and awareness. It's a heavy weight to carry, but it's also an honor. You've been trusted with something rare and powerful, and with that comes a responsibility. You're not just here to observe, you're here to act. This isn't just about you. It's about the role you've been called to play. You're the detective, the one who pieces together what others can't, who sees the patterns in the chaos, who uncovers the truth no matter how deep it's buried. And that's not just a skill, it's a duty. The world needs you to step up, to use your gifts wisely, and to pull off the impossible. Because if not you, then who? This is your sacred mission, and it's time to own it. The veil is thin and the stakes are high, but you were built for this. Think about those times when everything just clicked. That job opportunity that landed in your lap out of nowhere. That chance encounter that changed everything. Those weren't accidents. They were the universe conspiring to aid you because you're one of the chosen ones. You don't chase opportunities, you attract them. And when you're in sync with your inner guidance, the timing is always flawless. It's like the world bends to your rhythm and you're always in the right place at the right time. That's not luck, that's mastery. As they say on the streets, the universe conspires to aid those who are chosen to see. And you're not just chosen, you're dialed in. You don't second-guess your instincts, you trust them. You don't force the moment, you let it come to you. Because you know that timing isn't just about action, it's about patience. It's about knowing when to strike and when to stand still. And when you're in that flow, there's nothing you can't achieve. So keep listening to that inner clock. It's never wrong, and neither are you. And now, let us take a brief moment to honor the chosen among us. Here's to the ones who see the world differently, the silent guardians, the watchful souls, always awake, always vigilant. They don't fit the mold and they wouldn't have it any other way. While others walk familiar paths, they forge their own, fighting unseen battles, illuminating the shadows. It's not for everyone, and that's okay. But if you feel it deep within, you'll know this is meant for you. No masks, no pretense, just truth. The Obsidian Inner Order is here, a place where kindred spirits gather to share wisdom, to connect, to transform. Over 450 strong, united not by conformity, but by purpose. If you're ready, you know where to find us. The link is in the description. If not, that's perfectly fine, because we're always here, watching over, making a difference in ways unseen. Here's to those who walk their own path, not for recognition, but because it's who they are. Here's to you. Thank you. Drop a comment. My intuition is lethal if your insight slices through deception like a blade in the dark. Let's talk about the dance, the one you do every single day. It's not the kind of dance you see on a stage. It's the kind that happens in the shadows, in the spaces between words and actions. You're not just moving through the world. You're navigating it with a precision that most people can't even fathom. You see the hidden language, the unspoken truths, the subtle cues that others miss. With that power comes a responsibility. You can't just blurt out everything you know. You have to choose your moments, your battles, your words. Because not everyone is ready for the truth, and not everyone deserves access to your gift. This isn't just about being smart, it's about being strategic. You're not just a detective, you're a shadow dancer. You move with grace, knowing when to step forward and when to retreat. You understand that your insights are valuable, but they're also fragile. Share them with the wrong person and they can be twisted, weaponized, or dismissed. But share them with the right person at the right time and you can change lives. It's a delicate balance, but it's one you've mastered. You know how to protect your energy, your peace, and your boundaries, all while staying true to your mission. This isn't easy. It's a constant dance, a tightrope walk between visibility and invisibility. But that's what makes you so powerful. You don't just see the shadows, you move through them. You don't just survive in this world, you thrive in it, because you know how to play the game better than anyone else. So keep dancing, keep navigating, and keep trusting your instincts. You're not just a shadow dancer, you're the choreographer of your own destiny. And this dance, it's far from over. You've always known there's more to this reality than what meets the eye. It's not just a world, it's a matrix, a complex web of signs, symbols, and synchronicities. And you're the one who can read it. That street sign you passed this morning, it wasn't just a random piece of metal. That snippet of conversation you overheard at the coffee shop, it wasn't just small talk. These are pieces of a puzzle. Fragments of a message meant specifically for you. While everyone else is walking through life on autopilot, you're decoding it layer by layer, like the architect of your own reality. How many times have you seen something that felt like a sign? A license plate that spelled out a word you were just thinking about. A song that played at the exact moment you needed to hear its lyrics. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmations. The universe is speaking to you, and you're one of the few who can understand its language. It's like you've been given the cheat codes to life, and every day is a new level to unlock. This isn't just about seeing the patterns, it's about understanding what they mean, and that's where your gift truly shines. But with great power comes great responsibility. You're not just decoding the matrix for fun, you're doing it because you have to. The world needs people like you, people who can see beyond the surface, who can connect the dots and reveal the bigger picture. You don't just live in the world, you decode it, and every layer you peel back, every message you uncover brings you closer to the truth. So keep your eyes open, your mind sharp, and your intuition dialed in. The matrix is vast, but you're the one who can navigate it, and this is just the beginning. You don't need a crown to be royalty. You don't need a title, a spotlight, or anyone's approval to know who you are. Your power isn't something you flaunt. It's something you carry. It's in the way you move, the way you speak, the way you hold yourself. It's in the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your true nature. You don't need to prove anything to anyone because the proof is in your presence. Not because you demand it, but because you radiate it. That's the power of the invisible crown. Your intuition is your scepter, your guiding force. It's what sets you apart, what makes you untouchable. While others are scrambling for validation, you're operating on a higher frequency. You don't need to shout to be heard. Your silence speaks volumes. You don't need to fight for respect. It's given to you effortlessly. Because when you know who you are, the world feels it. Your power doesn't come from ego or arrogance. It comes from above. It's a divine authority, a connection to something greater, and that's what keeps you humble, grounded, and real. So walk with that authority, own it. But remember, true royalty doesn't need to announce itself. It's in the way you handle challenges, the way you lift others up, the way you stay true to yourself no matter what. You don't need a crown to be a king or queen. You already are one. Your intuition is your scepter, your presence is your throne, and your power is undeniable. Wear that invisible crown with pride, but wear it with grace. Because the world doesn't just need your light, it needs your leadership, and you were born for this. You've got the gift, that much is clear. Even the sharpest blade needs to be honed. Your intuition, your perception, your ability to decode the matrix, it's all part of your arsenal. But to truly wield it like the detective you are, you need tools. Think of this as your personal toolkit, your go-to resources for sharpening your edge and staying in tune with the universe. Meditation, that's your whetstone. It's how you clear the noise, center your energy, and tap into that deeper layer of knowing. It's not just about sitting still, it's about tuning in. And when you do, the answers come easier, the signals get clearer, and the path ahead lights up. But let's not stop there. Energy work is your next power move. Whether it's grounding yourself in nature, working with crystals, or practicing Reiki, you're learning to manipulate the unseen forces around you. It's like upgrading your internal antenna to pick up even the faintest signals. Dreams are your secret weapon. They're not just random movies your brain plays at night. They're messages, clues, and blueprints. Start keeping a dream journal. Write down every detail, no matter how small. Over time, you'll start to see patterns, symbols, and insights that guide you in waking life. And then there are the subtle signs, the ones most people miss. The way a bird flies across your path, the way a stranger's words echo something you've been thinking about, the way numbers repeat themselves in your life. These aren't random. They're breadcrumbs, and you're the detective following the trail. Build a framework for managing these gifts. Create rituals, routines, and practices that keep you sharp and aligned. You're not just gifted, you're equipped. This is your toolkit, and it's time to master it. Because the world needs detectives like you, and you've got work to do. Your powers aren't just about seeing the unseen, they're about shaping it. You're not just an observer in this world, you're a creator. Every thought, every intention, every moment of heightened awareness is a brushstroke on the canvas of reality. That pull, that knowing, that sense that you're not just here to watch the game, you're here to play it. And not just play it, but change it. Your intuition, your perception, your ability to decode the matrix. It's all leading you to this one ultimate revelation. You're not just solving mysteries, you're part of the greatest mystery of all. Every time you've trusted your gut, every time you've followed a hunch, every time you've acted on a sign, you weren't just uncovering truth, you were creating it. You were bending reality to your will, aligning with the flow of the universe and co-creating your destiny. That's the power of heightened awareness. It's not just about seeing the threads, it's about weaving them. And you're not just a weaver, you're the architect. You're the one who takes the raw materials of existence and turns them into something extraordinary. So here's the final piece, the one that brings everything full circle. You're not just the detective, you're the creator. The universe isn't just showing you the way, it's inviting you to build the way. Every insight, every revelation, every moment of clarity is a tool in your hands. Use them wisely, because this isn't just about understanding reality, it's about transforming it. You're not just part of the mystery, you're the one solving it, shaping it, and bringing it to life. This is the ultimate truth, and it's yours to wield. You are the eternal student, the one who knows that mastery is not a finish line, but a path without end. Your intuition, your perception, your ability to decode the unseen, these are not static gifts. They are living, breathing forces that grow, sharper with every challenge, every revelation, every moment of clarity. The detective is always evolving, always digging deeper, always uncovering new layers of truth. This isn't just a skill set, it's a way of life. You are not done yet. This is not the end. It's the next level. Every insight you gain, every pattern you uncover, every truth you reveal is a stepping stone to something greater. The world needs your light, your vision, your relentless pursuit of what lies beyond the surface. Share your experiences. Tell the world what you've seen, what you've learned, how you've grown. Because your journey isn't just yours, it's a beacon for others. The detective is always learning, always leading, always transforming.